Hi guys, on this very first show of 2018, we're sampling a juicy, spicy red from sunny Portugal. And this time, it's Lisbon's turn. Coming right up. Hi folks, welcome to this edition of Big on Wine, the channel that brings you news, clues and reviews about, yes, everything in the world of wine. And my wine of the week for this week is indeed from Portugal, and it's this one here. It's called Cabeça de Toiro Reserva, and the vintage is 2012. Cabeça de Toiro, or Bull's Head to the rest of us, is from Portugal, and this is actually officially DOC do Tejo. Now you're probably wondering what the hell this Tejo is. Well, all those of you who know something about the Portuguese capital, Lisbon, know that it stands at the mouth of the Tagus or Tejo River. So this is the wine region lying just northeast of the Portuguese capital. And this is a blend of two different red grape varieties. So in this wine here, we have the Touriga Nacional, which of course is the big black grape of northern Portugal, in particular, where it's used to make port wine in the Douro Valley. It produces fairly low yields, dark fruit, high tannins. And the second variety in this wine is the Castelao. Now the Castelao is grown predominantly further south in Portugal, in the coastal regions on sandy soil, less used in port. Okay, now this wine is from one of Portugal's biggest wine producers, Enoport, and it runs under the Caves Velhas brand name, so the quality segment of Enoport. Let's take a look at the wine in the glass here, and we can see that it has a relatively dark, dense colour to it, so very, very typical of Portuguese red wines here. It's a kind of a garnet red in colour with just a little touch of violet in there, and even, I have to say, just a little touch of effervescence in the wine as well. It's quite interesting, that. Okay, let's try it in the nose and see what we find here. Okay, now the first thing I'm getting here is very, very ripe, toasty fruitiness coming through very clearly here. Now, surprise, surprise, I'm getting both black and red fruit in the nose here. Blackberry, I think, is the one that first springs to mind, but also maybe a little bit of raspberry mixed in there as well, and perhaps even a little bit of red currant. So a very, very interesting fruity nose on this wine, black and red fruit there, which is quite interesting. Okay, let's try it in the mouth and see how we go. Now that is fascinating. A little bit of plum coming through now. It's got very good acids in this. Alcohol is about 13.5%, so it's reasonably strong, not too heavy. There's also a little touch of residual sugar in this wine, about 3 grams per litre, which tends to soften the wine on the palate a little bit as well. Okay, now this is very interesting. I'm getting the same flavours as I did in the nose. And particularly the spiciness of this wine is shining through here. So it's a full-bodied wine with these very, very conspicuous red and black fruit flavours here. I'm getting even a touch of coffee in the finish here. It's kind of a smoky, black currants, blackberry, red currant, a wonderful selection of flavours here, even a little bit of coffee, and even a kind of a sour cherry smokiness in the finish of this wine. Very interesting indeed. Now, ask ourselves the question, what is this going to be good with? Well, it's got some nice acidity. It's going to go very well with a whole variety of food dishes, I think. Now, I think this could stretch over a fairly broad spectrum of dishes, in fact. So start off with maybe some grilled fish. So how about some grilled sardines? We're in Portugal, after all. It'll go well with a variety of types of meat and also with some salty cheeses as well. How about game, duck, for example? That would be quite successful, I think. And also with lamb dishes as well. Okay, let's bring you the heads up on this interesting Portuguese wine. This is Cabeça de Toiro and Reserva 2012. Comes in for around the €15 mark where I am. This is a wine I think that you can serve around the 18-degree mark. It's smooth, it's velvety, it's got enough acid to make it a good all-rounder with a whole variety of dishes, predominantly meat dishes. Serve it, as I say, around the 18-degree mark. I'm going to give Cabeça de Toiro Reserva 2012 4 stars out of 5. Okay guys, many thanks for taking the time to watch today's video and this little introduction to the Cabeça de Toiro. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, then please do feel free to give us a big thumbs up. Hit that red button up there in the top left-hand corner of your screen in order to subscribe. And of course, please follow me on all my other social media platforms. I'll be back again next week with another great wine of the week for you. But until then, stay safe, be good to each other, enjoy your wines, and cheers.